Okay guys, I promised you the 5 things I hate about GameStop. Making the 5 things I love about GameStop was a little difficult. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not that GameStop is difficult to love, but they're difficult to like. Like, you know how like you have a parent or like a sibling that you love them. You love them, but like the 5 reasons why I hate GameStop. Let's start with the number 1 reason, and this is like by far and beyond the number 1 thing I hate, is the trade-in program. It is the worst thing ever. It's impossible to find the things you need to trade in half the time because the system's old. They never release or get rid of SKUs because everything's tradable at one point or another. Another thing that they do that drives me up a wall in regards to this as far as trades is just like they give cash. So it makes it a pawn shop. So you get a lot of people who come in, a lot of unscrupulous individuals. That's the best way I can put it. I mean, crackheads. And these crackheads come in and they have like, stolen merchandise. One time I got a bloody Switch, like a Switch that was covered in blood. And my store leader at the time, who no longer works for the company, told me, take it. And I was like, I'm not taking this. It's covered in blood. And the guy is sitting there with his drug dealer that I'm guessing he fleeced. And at this time, he's talking to me about, and I tell him the amount, like, this is how much you're gonna get. He goes, is this enough? And the guy goes, it's enough. And then we processed it. And then and then my SL decides to go, clean it up. I'm like, no. Another thing I hate about the trade system is you have to clean the stuff. It's disgusting. Nobody brings in good stuff. I had people bring me stuff to Roaches. It's disgusting, and everybody gets mad about the price. Like, if you're going to sell me stolen gear, if you're gonna sell me things that are secondhand, don't come in with weed Cheeto smell and roaches in like Tupperware bags. You try to kill it before you came in, but roaches can survive nuclear holocausts, let alone not being able to breathe for a minute. So, yes, I hate the trade system. It's garbage. We need to get rid of it, burn it to hell. Ugh. And that's like a very short take. Like if you talk to anybody I work with, very short take. Very short take. All right, number 2. GameStop TV is number 2. GameStop TV is annoying. Like, it's not selling anybody but the employees. Like, I bought The Last of Us 2 and I hate The Last of Us 2. If you want to know what I hate about The Last of Us 2, watch the 4-Player LAN Party podcast, episode 1. The GameStop TV just continuously just sells and pushes and sells and pushes. And they have been a little bit better recently. Like I would say, one of the big things about GameStop TV that is better now is you do get good stuff that comes out of there. Like they had one thing about like Legend of Zelda, because again, everything's to sell you stuff, but like talk about Legend of Zelda and like the history of it and how the order works. It's pretty cool. Some things I do learn from there, but like Wade Ronspeed is so annoying. Like, I hate him so much. Pisses me off. It just is so annoying. And then you have just people telling you, you get canceled for this, you get canceled for that. And then they'll call and put GameStop TV, like, randomly in the middle of the night for some launches and be like, we're so happy that you were here. We're so happy you decided to work here even though you had no choice. Yeah, GameStop TV sucks. It sucks. So, yeah, that's definitely number 2. GameStop TV is goddamn the worst. Number 3 reason why I hate working for GameStop is honestly the fact that the fucking PS5 and the Series X exist. Fuck that system. Fuck them both. They're goddamn awful. Or a PS4 controller. Jesus Christ. Customers will walk in, and every customer has the same freaking answer. So, the same freaking question, alright? It's, do you have a PS5? Do you have one in the back? Do you give me one? Please? Go give me a PS5? Please, please, please? And you're just like, no. Why would we have PS5s just laying in the back? And then they're like, well, what about Xbox Series X? It's Xbox Series X? I'm like, no, we have S's. You want an S? And they're like, oh no. And then when you have this shit, they don't even want to buy it. That's the worst. That's the worst. And then you literally get people who like just get mad at you because you don't have something. I almost got punched in the face at working at GameStop because we didn't have PS4s. Not PS5s, PS4s. Because this guy goes up to me and says, yo, I need a PS4. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let me just finish helping the customer I'm with. You're like 3 people in the back in line. He goes, I want it now. I'm like, yeah, no. He goes, ah! And yeah. And then they didn't even arrest the guy. Like, he literally just ran away with his girlfriend. It was like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And then like for like 3 weeks, I was just sitting there getting random calls being like, hey, do you remember what the guy's car is like? Do you remember what that guy looked like? If you saw him, would you see him again? Like, nobody cared. I gave the cops his license plate. They didn't even find the guy. It was horrible. And then GameStop is like, is any other guest hurt? What? So reason 4, why I absolutely can't stand GameStop sometimes is not all stores are created equal. What I mean by that, you have some really great stores with some really great people. Like my store that I work at is amazing. I love the people I work with. I do. Like I said before, in my good GameStop video, check that out. Check out my why I love GameStop video. It's positive reinforcement, people. Can't live in the negative all the time. Can't do it. I was at a store. I'm not gonna name the store, but we had a manager. And yo, this manager was literally like, she would get customers to buy Taco Bell and then she would hire employees for Taco Bell. Like, she did that. I saw her order like Taco Bell from a customer. Customer comes in and goes, now you're gonna hire my son? And she went, yeah. And then the guy was horrible. The guy stayed there for 2 years. About a year and a half. He was god awful. He was god awful. He was god awful. He was god awful. And like, that's a problem. Like, you have people who don't care, don't show up for work. And again, this is all a matter of building up people who like what they do. Like, honestly, like, and there are ways to make your employees love you. There are ways to make your employees care about their job. You know, like COVID, they made us work during COVID and they played the whole like, oh, we're essential workers. We sell PC parts for people who, yeah, that thing. But the one thing they could have done was they could have like hooked us up. Like they gave us like 75% off like pre-owned stuff, like not pre-owned stuff, clearance stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some cool clearance stuff, but like they never really like gave GameStop employees like the, hey, look, we're proud of you for staying through. Like, you know, here's some incentive, especially after the whole GameStop stock thing where everybody in like upward trajectory was getting paid out the ass. Like they never really helped out people who were there working, who were doing their thing. And they kind of left it up to the leaders. And like I said, I have a great leader who's amazing. Like he's great, but I have seen other stores just completely scrub the deck of employees because they just couldn't figure it out. I don't know, that leads to my 5th reason why working at GameStop is a sore. Honestly, it's gotta be like the value of you as a GameStop employee. Like they, like, don't get me wrong, like being a GameStop employee is cool, but you have to do a lot. And for a lot that you have to do, there's not that many people who you can call to help. And again, I'm super lucky, and I definitely understand that because there are people watching this video who are like, oh my god, who does he work with? Like Santa Claus? Oh my god, there's no SL that's this great. Oh my god. And trust me, he exists. You know you are. You know you are. What I'm saying is like, you could really incentivize people, and I know that sometimes paying people more can definitely suck as far as the bottom line, and GameStop does bleed a lot of money. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've been smart about their money because they've been able to adjust every year. Realistically, they haven't really lost anything. They were able to sell out, you know, Spring Mobile, run to themselves to keep themselves, you know, positive as far as like, you know, revenue. But one thing that they don't do, in my opinion, that they really should, and I think that they should really re-implement as soon as humanly possible, they really need to either raise how much they pay people, give a better discount, allow for people to kind of have a voice in their store. Because again, this is like when you work at a GameStop store, that's your store. Like that's it. Like you run the store. If you're you know, if you're any type of key holder, and you can be a key holder and be a part-timer, Like, you run the store. It's yours. It's your store while you have the keys, while you are in charge. It's super important that you're compensated for that. Like, whether it be a raise, better discounts, you know, better incentives. You know, once per year they give you a pretty decent, like 25%. But then they changed it this last year to only pre-owned stuff, and that kind of sucked because it used to be 25% off everything. You know, like, and it wasn't, and then it was only pre-owned stuff, and then it was during Christmas, there was no pre-owned stuff. So, like, what are you doing? And again, I'm lucky enough to where, like, I know I'm saying this, and like the reason why I can afford to do this and afford to make the videos because I have 2 other jobs. Like, I'm not gonna be affected if I get fired from GameStop, and I'm lucky enough to be able to say that. I'm lucky enough to be able to have this conversation, and I'm lucky enough to be able to, and I should say I'm prepared enough to be able to call out the tomfoolery. I mean, they had people in stores, and then they had the CEO in a test store pretending to be in a store with everybody, and then everybody called him out for being in the test store, and then he just disappeared, and now he's got quit, and it's over. And this is coming from somebody who actually does love the company. Like, I don't hate the company. I just think that it's like watching a group of people from the top down. It's like watching a group of people who don't really want to sell video games. It seems like they want to do anything but be GameStop. And you can tell that from how they did the tech trade. You can tell that from how they did just do trades in general. Like, if they got rid of cash trades and brought it back like seasonally, like, you know, once every like 3 months, I think that'd be genius. I think it would boost morale for employees. We wouldn't have to worry about dealing with crackheads and people trying to shiv us because we don't give them enough money. Oh, there's a fucking fly. It's trash. So they need employees because a lot of their dealings and a lot of the stuff that comes out of their, you know, stores, like a lot of stuff that comes through into homes or through the stores, they need the stores. They have to have that brick and mortar mentality. But with that being said, I mean, I still love working there. I still work there as long as they let me. They let me after I put this shit out. We'll find out. I mean, honestly, I don't think this is gonna get even like a little traction, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna do it. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you work for GameStop, you believe what I'm saying is true, or if you don't believe it at all, or if you hate me, you love me, whatever. Also, check out the 5 reasons why I love GameStop video. It's a lot shorter, but go check it out. It's a good way to kind of balance out my thoughts. But more or less, let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully I don't get fired. I mean, I did talk about how good GameStop was first. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe. Thank you. Peace.